Rugby Happy Hour Live. Interviews with the biggest names in American rugby.
The New England Free Jacks, Major League Rugby champions. One-on-one to score.
Here are your hosts, Bill Baker and that other guy.
Oh, what a night. John Fitzpatrick, how are you? It is lots of rugby news, man. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing well. I'm trying to keep track of everything, everything that's happened in MLR.
Oh, you have no idea. Things have gone crazy. For those of you who are into live internets like we're doing, a lot has happened over the past 2 hours, or even earlier than that. I missed the first news early today, but a lot has happened in MLR. But also, unfortunately, our first guest, Bryce Campbell, cannot make it at the last second. But he definitely wants to join us possibly next week. And also, Fitzy, real quick. I'm growing a beard for California.
Oh.
I don't know. I
shaved today. What do you think?
I didn't even recognize you at first. Like, who's the kid? Hey, put your dad on. With that said, we have a lot to talk about. Our second guest of the show is going to join us earlier. Georgie Perris-reading of USA Women's side. I love her story also because, as you know, Fitzy, she's been out of injury for a long time. This is her first start coming up. The roster was announced earlier today also. So to have her on now, leading into her first start in over a year, actually, it is really cool to have her on. But before that, before that.
You're getting emotional, Bill.
I know, I'm verklempt. Our crack jingle team has put something together really quick for our MLR coverage of the news we've heard over the last few hours. Are you ready for this?
Well, I hope they didn't spend too much on this.
They did not. It's very much. It's for you also. It's very much California nu metal, Linkin Park kind of stuff.
Okay, interesting.
All right? This is for you. Let's see what happens here.
I'm more of a Beach Boys vibe.
Rugby off season without craziness. New Orleans gold out permanently. Maybe not. LA out, kind of. San Diego, Legion, and RFCLA have merged to form California Legion. Who decides which players they get to kill? What? Fans are pissed. Players will be out of jobs. Less chances for USA players. I've got a headache. Let's talk this out.
Yeah, I got a headache from the song too, but but seriously, I would just wish it was a season of same teams out, same teams in coming in, maybe some roster changes like, oh, why the heck would this player go there, that kind of thing. And it's just not to be. I mean, there will be a year that'll happen, but I wish we could do some comparisons back to like the beginnings of NFL or AFL or MLS. Actually, what happened with them? Did they lose teams like this as well?
Yeah.
And Fitzy, I don't know if you have that kind of input, but are we on the same path? You know,
certainly Major League Soccer struggled to find their footing their first 10 years or so. There were a number of franchises that folded. There was one franchise owner in particular that pretty much propped up the league, similar to what's going on in MLR right now. But I mean, like big picture, like let's expand out here for a second. The league isn't profitable yet. None of the franchises are profitable yet, right? So like, and everyone who has put up money to try and make this work, you know, they want to run a profitable business. You can't just keep shoveling money and setting it on fire, right? And I feel bad for what's happening across the league. It seemed like we're getting momentum here, but a step forward, a couple steps back. Look, if it means we're going to have a Major League Rugby season in 2026 and there's at least 8 teams playing, That's great. I hope we can stop hemorrhaging. But until these franchises start making a lot of money, until there's a big multimedia rights deal or like a television contract deal, none of these franchises are going to be making money unless new investors come in to prop it up here. But so like it's going to be a wild ride between now and 31, right? Which seems to be what everyone is striving for.
Yeah, and we look forward to it. I mean, there's going to be expansion teams eventually. This offseason, I can't imagine that's going to happen, although there has been some small rumors here and there. But I can't imagine we won't have a team north of the border, or at least two teams within the next 4 years.
I would hope.
I hope. And honestly, I feel like there should have been another California team. We're going to talk about that in a second, although California Legion is kind of saying, no, it's our state, that kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. But there's room out there for expansion. It's just a matter of finding the money and the longevity. I guess the buy-in is pretty expensive still, even at this early stage of the league, which it needs to be. When you look at the teams that are successful, Seattle, San Diego, and such, they're not exactly making a ton of money, if they are making any money at all still. They're losing money. And it's all for the growth of the game. And you look at San Diego, again, we'll talk about that in a second, selling 10,000 tickets for a few matches at least over the last few years. It's pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, yeah, attendance may have been 10,000. How many of those are actually sold tickets is another thing.
Yeah, a lot of giveaways.
I think what is most concerning about NOLA Gold was it seemed like, given the offseason they had last year, they had some new ownership coming in. They had like this cool, new plan. It talked about, what the future looked like. So it seemed like a lot of hope. Obviously, the season didn't go the way they wanted to, splashy signings, but didn't translate on the field. And then announcing, attendance is up and, season ticket renewal. It just seems like the carpet's been pulled out from everyone there. So you wonder what happened. You wonder if maybe a big money investor said, "Hey, that's it," and it's a shame. But hopefully life will continue to go on, and hopefully the hemorrhaging stops here for a little bit, and there's at least 8 teams. Maybe there's 9 in 2026. I don't know. Do you think we're done with this, Bill?
I think we are. I feel like we are done with this. I've heard some silly rumors online about Utah, that kind of thing. I can't imagine they're out. I looked at the other teams. Anthem's not going anywhere. There's money from World Rugby involved in that. Sharks are new. I mean, they're new. Speaking of them, New York wasn't around very long when they left, but I mean,
there's rumors swirling about Miami. There's rumors swirling about Houston. Houston maybe
yeah.
like the primary owner wants to sell. Does that mean if they don't sell that they go away? There's a lot of speculation on social, on Reddit, right? But official with NOLA Gold, sadly.
Well, NOLA didn't really surprise me that much, and I'll tell you why. I feel like they, at least for the people I talked to who have played there, or at least in the visiting side, they feel like it's not a great place to play, the old ballpark. I know they were looking for a new facility.
Yeah.
It's just humid as get be, worse than Miami. It's the field isn't great. I mean, they did a great job. I talked to former players from New Orleans. They outfitted the stadium for them. Great locker rooms, workout rooms, all that stuff. So they were committed, but I wasn't totally blown away by this. And also, they had a press release that came out today also. The NOLA Gold has informed the league that we intend to not participate in the 25 season discussion, or 26 season, sorry. Discussions are ongoing with the league regarding future opportunities and potential pathways forward. So it could be a pause. Other teams have talked about that, just a financial pause to figure things out, get financed, and then come back the following year. But I don't know. This seems like a reason not to come back eventually.
Yeah, the odds don't seem in their favor for coming back. I want to remain optimistic that they can figure it out. They can get new ownership down there. I mean, I like their jerseys. I thought it slick branding. Yeah. There's certainly some passionate rugby fans down there, and down there in the bayou, if you will. And it's just too bad, and there was some real classy quality people down there. And you hate to see a team fold again like this. And hopefully we continue on.
And you wonder where players like AJ he's Houston. What number of good players on Houston on NOLA going to end up? That's most likely going to be an expansion draft. Those players, exactly. And
it's a lot of good players.
We'll see. There's at least one player that I'm familiar with who's worried about the league, and he's looking elsewhere as far as maybe overseas playing.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, I wish more players would in the off season if that was even possible. I would love. This is a side note from what we're talking about now. I would love to see a lot more Americans who are not playing for the USA side maybe go down to the NPC if possible. Why can we work that out?
Yeah, there's been such a great pipeline, but it seems like it's flowing in one direction, right? Like NPC talent coming to MLR and playing, and you don't see a lot of U.S. domestic players going down there, right? And obviously there may be some, they don't want spots being taken away. But Bill, the other thing that I wanted to bring up was, kind of warming up more and more into this idea of either a team that plays in Super Rugby or URC that are the top, men's Eagles, current, future players, that the team cohesion, that South American Rugby Americas, SRA model that's down there with a couple of teams down there, essentially the national teams playing in an all professional environment. There's something about that seems to work for Chile.
But when is that though? When's the window for that? that goes over MLR
now.
Exactly.
And the ramifications are, the top men's Eagles from each MLR squad are probably going to have to be formed on this team, and it's an interesting idea.
And that's the thing, and that's why I think NPC, those leagues work, right? Because their season's now basically right after the MLR finals, players leave. 2 days later, they're on planes, coaches, whatever else, they're going back south and they're playing for the teams until the beginning of next season. So they got to work out a partnership somehow, even if it's just a couple players per team, and then those who will be in the USA envelope as far as November matches and July matches, maybe they don't. But you have to have, like you're saying, maybe they have a team that travels and I don't know. It's interesting. All right, let's jump over to LA, San Diego merger, the LA Confidential, just kidding, the California Legion. A lot of dismay out there amongst Legion fans. They don't like RFC LA very much. Fitzy, where are you exactly in California?
Yeah, I'm in Southern California. I'm in Los Angeles County. So the very southern tip of Los Angeles County, maybe about 15, 20 minutes north of Orange County. Okay.
So there'll be matches around you apparently, because their idea is to have this California representative team to represent all of California, starting with the southern part of California where you are, but then expanding to Northern California and the Bay Area. I don't understand. I love the foresight there. Oh, we're going to do this and that. But California is a huge state. There's plenty of room for a second team on the north side.
Absolutely.
But then the merger kind of makes so many more questions for me. It's like, what happens to the players? Is there a draft for these players from LA or San Diego? Does LA just automatically get their best and go, okay, the league gets the rest? It's like it threw me. NOLA was one thing. Yeah, NOLA. Okay, got it. But this is like, what? What's your take?
Yeah, what's interesting, right? Because San Diego obviously had their home games in Snapdragon Stadium or Torero, right? Then they moved. They did play a few games in the Irvine area, which is in between LA and San Diego. Then obviously they had a few on UCLA's campus. So those three locations seem to be in play. Yeah, you're right. The idea of there should be a northern team, absolutely. I mean, the Bay Area, Sacramento, like there's so much good rugby there. You would think at some point an expansion team, if this can really get off the ground and have a solid foundation, there'd be a team there. I don't know how California Legion is going to work. I would figure there'd have to be some dispersal draft, right? Because you take the best of I almost said the Giltinis. You take the best of RFC LA and San Diego Legion. Man, that's a really strong team. You know, that's a really strong team. So some other guys may want new opportunities, but it's maybe we're in the weeds too much on that.
Well, maybe so, but I mean, it's there seems to be. I was really hoping we would grab someone from this San Diego Legion, that area, maybe someone like Will Lilly, whatever, to jump on tonight with us and say, yeah, it's a great idea or a bad idea, that kind of thing. And also business wise, DuPont was becoming a business partner with LA.
Yep.
Ma'anonu was San Diego. So are those two going to be business partners now?
Right. Yeah. You wonder how much they were clued in on what was going on, and hopefully it wasn't a surprise to them either to hear this. I can't imagine it would be. I mean, Antoine Dupont and Ma'anonu, two, legends still playing, right? So hopefully they kind of had an idea what was going on, but they still felt strongly about investing in the American game here, that they were like, okay, I still want to continue on. But they're great questions to ask, and we just don't have the answers quite yet.
Well, yeah, it's really soon. And so I mentioned earlier about San Diego having a lot of fans at some of these matches. Like you said, who knows how many are given away. Even to give away that many, that's a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the seats. But to split up that fan base into 3 or 4 locations, and as you know, living in the area, these 3 or 4 locations are not 30 minutes apart. They're hours apart. So what's that do to the season ticket holders? For San Diego, LA. I just feel like it won't be good for the fans, or it might hurt them for a while and hopefully come back.
I mean, the alternative is neither the Legion or RFC LA comes back, right? Like that's the worst case scenario. So maybe this is the best of not a great situation. Both organizations saying, "Hey, look, we still want to commit to this. Let's pool our resources and try and make this work." Kudos if that was the path forward. There is okay. Hey, let's find a way to figure this out, because the alternative is both those franchises going away, and then there's no professional rugby in Southern California. That would be tough. So,
yeah, that would be tough. And as you know, California is a hotbed for rugby. There's a lot of rugby in that state, from youth to college to the pro level now. There's no shortage of fans. There's so much they can do to make this work also. But I just think they're thinking too far ahead and maybe wanted to take too much of the pie as far as California goes. I think there's much more they can do locally than they could statewide. Just throwing it out there.
Sure.
All right. Okay. Sure. Let's do this real quick. Let's wrap up here about this talk. Are there positives that we can take away from this, Fitzy? Is it going to spread out these more quality players amongst smaller amount of teams? Is that good for the league? Is that bad for USA, the domestic players, making an international side, or becoming a better Eagles side? Are there positives we can take away from this?
Yeah, potentially more concentrated talent on less teams. Maybe the level play comes up. Maybe they lower the foreign player cap there a little bit. I mean, I think the positives, hopefully, are that the other franchises are on solid footing, or the ownership have recommitted to the 2026 season or seen through to 2031. To me, it seems like there will be a Major League Rugby season in 2026. Because my question is, oh crap, is this the start of a few dominoes falling and then the whole thing comes down, right? So that's where it gets me a little bit concerned. It sounds like the 2026 MLR season will be happening. So I'm going to take a positive look at that way, is that, hey, there still will be an MLR season in 2026. There's going to be hiccups. We get it. Financially, these ownerships are strapped. So hopefully we don't limp along to 2031.
All right. Speaking of limping along, our next guest is no longer limping. That's why I get paid the big bucks. And with that said, we have pretty good introduction song for this one. Okay, she's going to want this on her workout playlist.
Wow.
And I do feel like there's a Grammy coming to our jingle writing team for this one. This is the winner. You ready?
Let's hear it. I'm excited.
Oh! 1, 2, 3, 5. Born in Detroit, raised in England. Sail, shark, trampolining, passionate, hard-working. A little crazy USA, Eagles 303. In case you were wondering, trampolining is a sport involving performing acrobatic movements when I'm bouncing on a trampoline. A leg, lean. Passionate, hard-working. A little crazy USA, Eagle 303. And now let's welcome Georgie Perris-reading.
Oh yeah, come on.
Hey,
there's
Georgie.
Right?
That might be the best thing I've ever heard.
Interview's over. We're set. We're good.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I'll definitely need a version of that.
We have a longer version. That was the shortened live version, but usually live versions are much longer. So I'll send you the 18-minute version. I'm kidding, not 18 minutes.
That was actually me and Bill on the mics. We recorded that before. Yeah, that was us actually.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Multi-talented. There's been a couple. I forget who else Was it Emily Enrick or somebody? I think we did one for her. She was like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah, she was.
Hey, I love that. I love that. That was very cool.
Hey, and what was really cool, trampolining, Georgie. I mean, can you talk about that? Were you shooting for like an Olympic spot?
How did you guys find that?
crack investigation team, Wikipedia.
I was gonna say, yeah. Honestly, I don't really know. I fell into that sport by mistake, really. I found it at school and absolutely loved it. So, yeah, it is a rare sport to find, though, for sure.
So if someone brought out an official, say, Olympic-sized trampoline right now, and they were like, "Hey, Georgie, go out there and bust a triple axel backflip," you can tell I don't know the moves. Could you do that right now? Could you be like, "Yeah, I got this"?
Honestly, there's a high chance that I might fall off, but I'd give it a good go.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want you to get hurt, please.
No, yeah, hopefully
Well,
not.
what about in lineouts? If you said, "Listen, I got this. Throw me as high as you can in the air, and as long as you catch me on the way down, I've done this."
You know what? I probably trust my teammates enough that I'd let them do that. Yeah.
Oh, that would be, yeah. You better trust them.
Don't tell them that though.
So listen, something I alluded to before the song, ACL. Okay, let's get right into that. Reconstructive surgery. I want to tell you, I did the same thing, except you're a much better athlete than I was at that point. So my recovery is a lot faster because the guy's like, "You're not going out and playing rugby." It's like, I want to, but anyway, talk about the procedure. So actually, obviously it was late in the match, which it doesn't matter what time of the match you get hurt. It sucks. Late in the match doesn't help any. Just talk about when that happened and how are you feeling? You know, with the ACL, it hurts at first and then you can kind of walk a little bit and then you realize, oh, this is bad. So talk about that at a moment and what you're feeling.
Yeah, I think when I initially did it, I actually blew out all the ligaments in my knee, and I also fractured.
All of them.
My the top of my patella bit as well. So I definitely have not experienced a pain like that before. So I knew sort of in that moment that it was pretty bad, and I had kind of. I know unfortunately, a lot of my friends have done the ACL. So, you know, I was waiting for that moment. Everyone was like, "Oh, it hurts," and then it'll go and you'll feel better. And that unfortunately didn't come for me really. So, yeah, I knew straight away that it was worst case scenario.
So you knew that it was the rehab was going to take a little bit longer because it wasn't just the clean ACL. It was the meniscus. It's the triad, right? What do they call it?
Yeah, I did both my meniscuses, ACL, MCL. So yeah, and then I had a complication. My MCL rejected its graft. So in January, I went in for a second surgery. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
Well,
that's why.
I
was going to say that's why the length over a year for you to get back.
Yeah.
I mean, especially you're in great shape and fit. Many athletes at your level don't nearly take that long, so that explains everything.
Yeah, and especially now you see with all the research that's going into it and the how professional the medical care is. You see people getting back in that 6 to 9 months now, which is crazy. So yeah.
I guess, Georgie, so, it dawns on you that you've had this injury. The doctors break the news to you that your knee is shredded, but, obviously it came back together. I mean, I guess, talk us through, like, how quickly did it flip in your mind that you were like, nah, this isn't the end of my rugby journey here? Like, how quickly was that shift, and was it easy to process all of that?
I think for me, it was never an option. And I think that massively helped me, although the, reality is, it could have been super difficult. And there were many times when I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to play rugby again. And, even recently too. So I think, but for me, it was that sort of, I guess that, voice that I have in my head that's like, this is not how this is going to go. And I'm very stubborn, and this is where it paid off a little bit. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
And go ahead,
go
Bill.
ahead.
Sorry. We keep
No, you
talking
go.
over each other. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, typically with twins, sometimes, well, not typically, sometimes you hear about twins can feel the other twins' pains. Was India kind of like, oh, good, thank God I don't feel that?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I actually felt so I didn't want to complain at all because my poor twin, India, has gone through it twice. So yeah,
About time.
yeah, she's really been through it too. So yeah, she was a real rock for me because I felt bad. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys know what a game ready is? The icing compression machine that you have
Oh,
for
right.
your knee. I was so lucky. I had that on every day, all hours of the day, and my sister, for both of hers, had a bag of peas. So I can't complain. I can't complain.
Go on, Fitzy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, good. I guess then, so, obviously the recovery process, took longer, right? Because you had to heal from a few, and then the graft not taking, which is wild. But, and then mentally, just the grind of, day after day, sometimes not seeing progress, but knowing that if you stick with it, it's eventually going to come there. I mean, you're a professional athlete, you know what that is like. But I guess, when did it feel, or when did it start to feel like, hey, I'm back? And then, what did it feel like to step back on the pitch and feel confident in the knee again, and confident in your abilities to go out there and perform like your expectations?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I would be lying now if I said, like, we were speaking with the girls, a few of my close girls in here the other night, and I said, it's still very much a thing in my head, and I think I'd be lying if I said to people, oh, I never think about my knee anymore. But weirdly, the time that I think about it the least is when I'm on the pitch. And that's when I feel like, oh, I've not been away, and this is what I was made to do. And I think in that moment when the adrenaline takes over and I feel that excitement and the thrill that I get when I play rugby, I forget in that moment that that bad year and a bit happened. So it's a roller coaster still, but I think when I got back out with the girls, and even back out into the full training program that we're in, I was like, okay, I can keep building and I can keep working for what I want here.
Are you wearing any kind of knee brace still?
No, this was funny actually. When we first played our internal scrimmage, which was, a selection for the World Cup, basically, for the World Cup squad, one of my teammates was like, Georgie, why have you not got your knee strapped? And I was like, listen, Frida, this thing has had all sorts of man-made ligaments and my own ligaments tear back in. It's hopefully with a lot of rehab strong, and I just feel like I'm a bit of tape is for me. I feel strong that I don't need that, hopefully.
It took me forever just to play beach volleyball with a confidence level, just from getting Cadaver's ACL and a torn meniscus repaired. It took me, again, I wasn't doing anything like you. It took me a while to go, okay, I can do this without a brace. So the mental side of that is huge, as well as the physicality side, those the PT and all that stuff. Yeah. All right, so Georgie, let's move forward. Big year, all right? We did find out earlier today that you are starting Friday against Canada, your first start since last June. Over a year, wow.
Crazy.
Exactly. Canada has a player who's also recovering from a pretty bad knee injury, Sophie. But again, big match against Canada. The women had a really good showing against them early this year. Obviously, still not a win, but you got to be feeling good going into this match against Canada, preparing yourself for the World Cup, considering how high ranked this team and how good this team is. So how are you guys feeling about this?
Yeah, honestly, really good. I think we know Canada well. We play them a lot. They're, a very well-established team now and very highly ranked as well. But it's not something that we're going to hide from, and it's actually something that this group really relishes in. When we're supposedly that underdog team, is when we tend to really, flourish as a group. So we've been working really hard the last few weeks. It's been really tough. So I think we're excited to go and do, which is, what we all do the hard work for, which is play a good game. So yeah, some excitement building, and it should be really good. I know there's quite a few tickets sold, so hopefully a good event.
Are you on a set time for this match? Does Sione have you on maybe half a match, or as long as you can go?
I think it's survival. See how long I can go. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, how long do you want to go? Do you want to play full 80?
I would love to. I think that's one of the things I did in our friendly against Fiji. I think I managed to rack up about 75, and I couldn't walk the next day. It was worth it. So if my body would take me there, I'd love to. Yeah.
Well, it was hot and humid in DC against Fiji. Wow. Yeah. So at least your match wasn't, delayed by lightning or anything like that, or you were able to get it in. But speaking of Canada, as you mentioned, you know them very well. I think they're ranked number 1 in the world right now. It's obviously a massive tune-up before the Rugby World Cup. I guess what are for this match, like what are the goals and expectations, knowing that it's the final tune-up before the Rugby World Cup? And are you working on cohesion? Are there certain things that the team is looking to try and do? Obviously, a result would be great, but fill us in on expectations for this one.
I think for us, we're always going out there looking for the result we want, which is a win. But I think for us, obviously at this stage, building into a World Cup, the massively important part is building how we play, our structure, and even those little things. But like getting to know, that teammate inside and outside of you, and how you guys can best gel and work together. So we've been doing a lot of new stuff, a lot of our old stuff, and developing that as well. So it's been fun, and I think we're starting to build a really exciting game plan, which for us, we're just looking forward to showcasing.
I've got to ask you a question. Been following along the training. I think you've had training at Mount St. Mary's, the college there in Emmitsburg, Maryland. When I was in college, we used to play their team. Then they got really good, the men's side. What do you think of Emmitsburg, Maryland?
Wow.
Honestly, when I first turned up there, I'm not gonna lie, I said to the girls, I was like, oh my gosh, there is nothing. There's not even shops, but honestly,
there's a lot of this.
yeah. But I think because we've been there so long and the people were so lovely, we it almost became like a little home for us. Actually weirdly grew quite fond of it. So yeah, we had really good group of locals as well, and everyone at the school was great. So, and we had some great crab. So yeah, some highlights.
Everyone talked about the Ilona Mara effect. I'm seeing it, or actually my older daughter texts me once in a while. Have you seen the newest Instagram video from Ilona or from Charlie or from whoever? You guys, you're doing a lot of stuff, especially I think it might have been the same location you're just talking about where there's like a little makeshift pool behind like a shed or something like that. I forget which one.
Oh, yeah.
But that's going to be a lot of fun. And it's got to really bring you guys together more too, because you're just relaxed and sitting in an airport all day, just having fun.
Yeah. I think honestly that's something that I feel really passionately about. I think people expect it's like, oh well, you're in this high performance environment, like you need to be switched on and it needs to be serious 24/7. Whereas actually, I think that showing that human side of us and being able to enjoy each other's company and in light of a 12-hour travel day, be able to have a laugh for me is massively important. And I know myself and a lot of people in this group play their best rugby when they feel supported, happy, and they're enjoying their environment and the people around them. So, yeah, for me, it's really important, and got to have a laugh every now and then for sure.
Well, let's talk about the World Cup coming up here. This will be your second, if I'm correct there. You came on briefly at the end of the Italy match in the 22 Rugby World Cup, but you were there for the entire thing, got to experience it. Did you get enough experience from that to approach this year's World Cup a little differently? Or did you learn a lot from that one coming into saying, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z to perform better, to have more fun, take it in, or whatever?
Yeah, I think last World Cup was, I was very grateful to be there and very grateful for the experience. But I'm a anyone who knows me will say I'm a very competitive person, and I think getting that 12 minutes against Italy really hurt me, and I wanted to be on the field. So
Yeah.
for me, it was a massive motivation to. When I came back from that World Cup, I was like, I'm going to do everything I can to make it impossible for my future coaches in club and country not to put me in that position again. So for me, it was I wanted to come into this as strong as possible and knowing that I could add value to the team in a different way. So yeah, it's definitely been different because I think last time I was like, this is all so crazy and overwhelming, but this time I know exactly what I want to do and how I want to achieve that. So hopefully it goes all right.
Yeah.
And then Georgie, when I thought it was pretty neat how USA Rugby announced the Women's Eagles roster for the Rugby World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
I guess during the process, one, two-part question here: how fired up were you to make the squad? But then two, did you kind of know that you were going to make the squad? You know what I mean? Like, were you given hints or was it a surprise? Like, that process to me is really interesting to hear, right? Particularly say if you're like a first time player who's made the squad, they're not sure if they're going to make it or not. But yourself as someone who's an established veteran, did you kind of have an idea from the coaching staff? Like, yeah, Georgie, don't worry, your spot's safe. Yeah. Like,
That's a good question. I think first of all, yeah, definitely ecstatic. I think everything felt even bigger, I guess, because not only was it a World Cup selection, but for me it was a return. And for that to all come into the same umbrella was like, whoa, crazy. But I think I knew I never expect anything because of how things have gone in the past. Or, for example, last World Cup, I felt great. I felt like I was playing some really good rugby, and I didn't really see the field. So for me, I never expect anything, but I knew that in that camp, in my limited time, that if they said to me, "Look, Georgie, this isn't happening for you this time," I'd probably make some good TV and maybe slam a door or something, but I would know that I gave everything in that time that I had. And I was still nervous going into that meeting room, but I knew that I'd done everything I can to put myself in the best position.
England's going to be crazy, obviously, especially for you.
Definitely.
Playing against teammates, playing in front of family and friends. How many ticket requests have you received so far?
Weirdly, not
tickets.
Many.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't have that many friends.
Can I get 4 to the? No.
It's been really exciting, to be fair. All the especially my lot at Sale, they're very excited, and I'm managing to convert a few of them to USA fans. So it's good, and it will be super special, hopefully. So it's going to be pretty big, I think.
It's going to be massive. Come on. It's the opening game against the Red Roses. It's going to be a sold-out venue. It's probably going to break a women's attendance record, 70,000 or more. I mean, I know the old athlete cliche, like, let's take this one step at a time. Yeah. But even just talking about it gets me fired up. I'm sure you're fired up about it, right? Like, I'm sure everyone on the squad, it's got to be chomping at the bit to be the opening match against the Red Roses, right?
Yeah, for me, I know I love that sort of stuff. I love, us people thinking, especially being in Manchester and at home, everyone's like, oh, you've got England for your opening match. And, that for me is just like really fuels the fire because everybody in the UK, obviously, the Red Roses are a very well established, very highly ranked, top ranked team in the world. So, of course, statistically, it could be a tough match for us. But I think this group is really going to thrive with that and bring it on the day. So it's very exciting for sure.
Well, we spoke to a couple of the women from the sevens team who participated in Paris in the Olympics, and just to play in front of 80,000 people was, they said it just changes. Some athletes say they tune it out, but there's no way to tune out that many fans, especially no matter who's doing well. I could imagine when you are leading England and you're scoring a try in the corner, the crowd's gonna go crazy because it's a World Cup event, and we wish that for you. I have money I don't have money. I wish that. But let's move forward. Let's move forward a little bit. You mentioned Sail Sharks earlier, PWR. Let's talk about that team for a moment. You have a number of USA teammates on that team, especially, and also Red Roses and a few others. And the team has been adding players in the offseason. You know, Holly Aitchison, Charlotte Frey, some really good players. You know, Amy Cockayne, a lot of caps from her as well. So it's been a tough couple seasons for you guys. You know, with these moves in the offseason, are you hopeful? Are you saying, okay, we're gonna climb the ladder and we're gonna be a much better performing team?
Yeah, 100%. That's completely, the goal behind this squad that's been built over the last few months. And like you said, there's a wealth of experience in there. And again, it's been a really tough few years, but I've never doubted for one second that this group and this team are capable of big things. And I think that's why I've, stuck so so strongly by this team and this club, because they're built on really good values, culture, and some fantastic people, and an amazing owner that absolutely thrives in the women's sporting space, and will do anything to help the game grow. So for me, it was no brainer, and you never know. Hopefully, some titles soon.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Anyway.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, we were talking earlier about just how it's been such a monumental year for you, right? Like the highs and lows, ups and downs, right? Coming back from injury, playing again, named to the Rugby World Cup squad, and then the Rugby World Cup, and then you got to jump right back into Sail Sharks. I guess talk us through how you're approaching all of that, right? Like it's a lot of things are stacking up, but how do you turn it on and off, so to speak, right? I feel like you got to have some mental and physical break, right, in between such big moments. Otherwise, I feel like your adrenaline is just constantly pumping, and your body's like, "Hey, Georgie, we need a rest here." Like, how do you work through all of that?
Honestly, I think if you asked anyone, they'd be like, "No, I don't think she actually does switch off." But no, I'm really lucky that I've got a really good support network around me. In camp, I've got a really, all of the girls are great, but I've got some really good friends that I lean on massively to, when I need some downtime or, a change of scenery, and the same with my family and friends at home. So for me, it's just, spending time with people that I enjoy spending time with. And I do talk about rugby a lot, but I now know, especially as I get older, I'm like, other things in life are important as well. So making time for that, and getting a holiday in here and there where we can, where the schedule allows. But I guess friends is a massive one for me on that, and just taking some time to do the things that we enjoy.
So a couple more questions for you before we let you go. Okay, this question is it's a good question. Okay, no matter how I ask it.
Okay.
On paper, she's lining up. She's hit me. On paper, on paper, you're 5.
I'm putting you in charge.
Okay. Oh, sorry. On paper, you're 5'1". I'm not sure what that is, and anyway. But you play like you're 6'1".
Just for the record, I'm 5'4", 5'3".
Okay, you play like you're 6'3". I bring that up for a couple of reasons. One, my older daughter, who was a college striker, she was one of the shorter strikers in her division, but she played like she was much bigger and much tougher. Is that something that is kind of in the back of your head when you were younger? So listen, I'm a little smaller than some of these others out here. I need to play bigger. Am I asking that right?
I think my roommate Charlie's laughing her head off in the background right now because I lie on all my bios about my height.
You go lower?
Good. I'm not the only one.
I definitely add some inches on there. But
Okay.
yeah, it's actually a funny one because it happened tonight. Actually, Charlie, my roommate, we went to pick up a Labubu. I don't know if you've heard about them. It's a craze right now. And the guy who owned the shop was his daughter plays, and they were a fan of rugby and very excited that we were there. So he was asking what position we played, and he was like, looked at me and he was like, "You must be the winger." And yeah, it happens a lot, and I think I forget that sometimes I maybe am quite small for a back row, and I think it is a massive part of that is I have probably always had to fight a little bit more, and I think that's massively contributed to the player that I am today. And I probably think I am a little bit bigger than I am, but I absolutely love, that side of the game, the physicality of it. It's my favourite bit. So, yeah, I guess for me, it's just all up here, and maybe I'm a little bit crazy too, but.
Well, so's Talia. But hopefully you missed out on a year of you two colliding on the pitch. So we're looking forward to seeing that this next season coming up. All right, you let her know.
Don't worry, she does it at training too.
All right, I got one more comment from Fitz. You have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. So I assume your roommate is Charlie Jacoby, who is that your resident. We had Charlie on a few months ago, and she's a cut up. She's very funny. And I believe we asked her who she thinks is the funniest person on the squad. So I'm going to have to ask you, with Charlie in the room, who do you think is the funniest person on the squad?
She
Don't do me dirty.
She better have said me. How much are you going to pay?
Oh man.
No, to be fair, she is very, very funny. Charlie would for sure have to be up there. We've got a real mixed sense of humour, which is good, like some really dry, some sarcastic. So we've got a really good mix, but Charlie probably makes me laugh the most. But Lo is also up there. She's got our sense of humour. We're all three of us are pretty similar, so we do laugh over. I think some people would listen and be like, "What?" But we find it very funny.
Hey, we need a scoop. Is Charlie going back to PWR or not?
Oh.
Can I drop this big juicy sign in
Not
here?
yet, not yet.
All right.
We're not sure yet, are we?
No.
Okay, fine. It's okay.
She said, "Stay tuned."
Stay tuned. Okay, we better be the first that know. Well, you guys should be the first ones that know, but the second ones.
I'll tell her to make sure she tells you guys.
All right. So at the next training, Charlie, make sure she gets on a trampoline. We cannot wait to see old footage of that. It's got to be old film. I still wonder if you would have made the England Olympic team, if you would have been able to play rugby for the United States. I don't know if those things cross. We'll figure it out.
Let me tell you right now, I was not that good at trampoline. My
mom even said she wasn't very
Wow.
My trampolining teammate for a good few years actually recently won a gold medal at the Paris Olympics for trampolining.
Wow.
So that's a cool fact, and she was the only reason we ever won a medal in our team trampoline. And yeah, the rest of us were not very good.
All right, Georgie, this has been great. It's been a great conversation. We've been talking about getting you on at some point, especially near the end of your rehab. So good to have you. Good luck. This not just Friday, but into the summer. We cannot wait to see how you guys do.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. Yeah. She's waving from her bed.
Okay. All right. Have a good night. Get some good rest, and we'll talk again soon.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jerry.
All right. I cut her off from you, so you couldn't say anything to her. That was good. She's fun. And I thought she said Talia. But then it was Charlie, her roommate.
Yeah, those two, man, in a room together. I had Sione, man, really rolling the dice there. They get in some hijinks, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I bet. That whole group. Check them out.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you haven't done it yet, look at their social media channels. A lot of the players.
Yeah,
They're pretty funny.
Yeah.
They have a good time. All right, Fitz, let's wrap it up. A lot of good news out here today. A lot of good news, a lot of bad news, MLR news, but some great news for the USA women. Listeners, do yourself a favor. Come back to the beginning of the show if you missed it and tune into us talking about the moves. Noah Gold dropping out and San Diego and LA merging as one who will fight all evil on the planet. Fitzy, good stuff. Talk to you later. Cheers. Good night, everybody.